this lesson, we'll be discussing slope. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to find the slope of a line and determine the slope from a graph, a table, 2 points, or an equation. So slope is just the difference in how steep it is. So the difference between like a bunny hill and a black diamond hill is how steep the hill is. The difference between two roller coasters, and one you might find more exciting than another, is because of how steep it is. So slope is just how steep the line is. It's determined by 2 points. You have to have 2 points. We write the slope as an integer or a fraction. If it's a fraction, it's improper. Leave it that way. We do not change it to a mixed number. The greater the value of the slope, the steeper the line, the absolute value. Okay, so the absolute value tells you how steep the line is. To find slope, it's the vertical change over the horizontal change. So these triangles here are the Greek letter D, delta, which represents change. So the change in y over the change in x. You might also see it as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So on a graph, we have 2 points, and this is your x1 and your y1, and your x2 and your y2. If you choose from a graph, you could say that any one of these points, any one of them, could be your x1 and your y1 and your x2 and your y2. So to graph from using slope, the numerator tells you how much to go up and down, and the denominator tells you how to go left or right. So if it's positive, you go up or right. If it's negative, you go left or down. So they're giving you a point here, and they're telling the slope is 2/3. That means you're going to go up 2, right 3. Up 2, right 3. And that's how you graph from slope. So let's do some examples. If we decide that this is x1, and this is y1, and this is x2, and this is y2, I'm going to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 9 minus 5 is 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. My slope is 4. I could also decide that this is x1 and y1, and this is x2 and y2. So in this one, I would say 4 minus 2, y2 minus y1, over x2, negative 2, minus 6. 4 minus 2 is 2. Negative 2 minus 6 is negative 8. So my slope is negative 1/4. All right, find the slope in the table. We could do the same thing. You could say this is x1, and this is y1, and this is x2, and this is y2. We could also just look for the pattern here. What's happening? Each time, this is going up by 1. Each time, this is going up by 3. My slope is the change in y over the change in x. So over here, what's happening? This is going up by 70. Over here, this is going up by 2. So my slope is 70 over 2, which is 35. In a graph, you can do the same thing. You can decide that this is x1 and y1, and this is x2 and y2, or we can just count and see what's going on. So from here to here, I'm going to go up 2, that's my numerator, and right 2, that's my denominator, so my slope is 1. Here I can see that my slope is negative, so again I can choose 2 points and just subtract, or I can say I'm going to go from this point to this point. I always move from left to right, and so the first one I'm going down 2, so that's my numerator, and right 1, that's my denominator. My slope is negative 2. In this last one, we're going to graph the line passing through the point 1, 1 with a slope of 1, negative 3, or negative 1, 3. Means you're going to go either direction. We know our slope is negative, so we know which direction it should be going. So we're going to start at our first point, and the top number tells us up and down. So positive 1 means I'm going to go up, and negative 3 means I'm going left. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Up 1, left 3. Up 1, left 3. Or I could go from this point and use the second one and go down 1, right 3, down 1, 3. Either way, I'll get a straight line. So the slope is the change in y over the change in x. You have to remember that y is on top. Number one mistake is putting x on the top.